Hey, what's going on, YouTube fam? I had my final interview for the RedfinNow Acquisition Specialist. So the reason why I gave it the little air quotes was because so the initial interview was a phone interview, I believe. Then after that, I was supposed to do like a three-part panel interview, and they were supposed to be in one day, back to back to back. But one of the interviewers had something come up, so I only interviewed with two folks at the time. Um, One was the actual hiring manager. The other was um, one of the actual acquisition specialists that is currently working for Redfin now. The third interview was supposed to be with the portfolio manager, but he was it had something going on at the time. Something had come up, so I interviewed with the hiring manager and the acquisition specialist. Then didn't hear from them in about a week. So now during this time, I was interviewing for the real estate agent for Redfin. And I was told, and you can check my other video on that, and I got some information on that as well. If I was one of those editing geniuses, I'd be like, click the link right here, but I am not. You can just go right to my channel and find it. I don't have much on my channel. I'm not monetized, so this is just purely information purposes for you guys. Um, so at the time, I was also interviewing for the real estate agent at Redfin, and was told that they weren't hiring right now. They were basically looking for future candidates once the position opened up. So after the interview for the acquisition specialist, I thought that that was going to be the same for that position as the hiring manager for the specialist position. The acquisition specialist position said that they were in a holding pattern. So when I emailed them back, I said, "Hey, I see that there's another position, another acquisition specialist position that just opened. Should I reapply?" So the hiring manager told me, "No, we have everything, but I want you to go ahead and interview with the portfolio manager because you didn't get a chance to interview with him before." I said, "Okay, cool." So this is actually, it wasn't, they termed it a final interview, but that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be all three of them back to back to back. Um, but this has ended up being a final interview. I did have to reapply. And I think that was just, I don't know, maybe that made it easier for the administrative assistant to schedule the meeting with the portfolio manager. I'm not sure. So I reapplied, which was easy because it already had my information in there from before. Had the interview today. I mean, your basic boilerplate interview in a sense. You got to give your little 2 to 5 minute elevator speech of who you are, where you come from, what you've been doing, which I've already done several times. The questions asked was, name a time when you were excited about what you were doing at any job. Name a time where you received constructive criticism, or accolades. I think he said constructive criticism, but I think I gave him a time where I actually got like accolades instead of constructive criticism. But anyway, he seemed like he liked it. Let's see. Trying to think of another. I mean, it was your basic boilerplate questions. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I was just eating some salad and had a little pumpkin seed. So it's just your basic boilerplate questions. You should be able to answer. You don't have to answer in real estate terms, although if all of your answers do come from real estate, that's fine. Really laid back. I mean, he was dressed casual. I mean, I did have like a tie on and stuff. This was a Google Meets video, Google Meets, Zoom, whatever you want to call it. So the main thing that I took from this interview is that this particular position is they want to make sure you understand that this is this is going to be a remote position for the foreseeable future. Okay. And they want to make sure you're okay with that, because if you're a realtor, you know that your job is not necessarily remote. Like, you quote unquote kind of work from home, but you're out in the field and you're meeting people. And he made it a point to mention that in the last 10 months he only met 5 people. And as a realtor, you meet way more people than that. So I think he wanted to drive the point home that, hey, you don't have to come in the office. You're going to be home. Just FYI, So just understand that, like, the world is pretty much changing, which is good. If we don't have to go into an office, it's no point in actually going into an office. So that was great. Although he did say the Redfin office has plenty of snacks if you want to go in there, but we can have snacks at home too, I guess. So the interview lasted about 30 minutes or so. It was a formal interview, but the way we were speaking to one another was kind of informal. None of the interviews I've had with Redfin made me feel like, oh God, you know how a normal interview is when you go in somewhere and you're sitting in an office and then you go in and you speak to the person. Now, I don't know if it's because it was video or not, but it just, the way they came off, they were kind of dressed down. They weren't dressy. They weren't, like these well put together corporate types. Like, these were like human beings in a sense. So, not in the sense they were, but I'm just saying, like, it was more down to earth. So had that interview. I think it went well. I was told that I was definitely qualified for the position and possibly overqualified. I never really understand that. I don't know, if you want success on your team, you hire success, But I eventually told him, like, I like what Redfin is doing. I want to get in somewhere. And I think that kind of reverberated with him, because he said the same thing when he was interviewing to be at Redfin. He just wanted to be in. He wanted to get in. And he said, I just think, he said, the conversation we've been having about you is, I think you're overqualified. So I said, all right, well, hire me and then promote me in a couple of months. That was my answer. I fired right back at him. Like, just hire me and promote me. Like, I don't understand. You want success on your team. So, interview went great. Very nice guy. Everyone I met, very nice. So he said, hopefully I'll hear something by tomorrow, or, maybe sometime next week. I thought they were in a holding pattern as far as hiring, because the market had gone down for this position. Not gone down, but the market kind of slowed down a little bit. But he was saying they were and they weren't. They wanted to make sure that they were going to meet expectations for hiring another person for the position, because they already had 2. And they wanted to make sure, I guess, that it was going to be enough work for 3 individuals, which he stated he definitely believes there's going to be enough work. He just wanted to be positively sure. So hopefully I'll know something within 24 hours or so, and I'll get right back to you guys, and I'll have more videos to make. I'm going to make some other videos. Now I'm going to start just making some videos based on my day-to-day activities, just being a realtor, a real estate agent, working from home, the different things I'm doing, trying to reset my business. I'm teaching a pre-licensing course right now in Maryland. I do that online. I'm also an appraiser trainee here in Maryland. So I think I'm going to do some courses. I'm going to probably do some classes online or on YouTube, just upload different videos and day-to-day life activities, showing you some work-life balance. Because when you're an entrepreneur, when you're working from home, when you have your own business, you need to have some sort of balance. And what these last few years have showed us is that, we're all human beings, and we're all people who, life is vulnerable. We can all have our differences, but we all enjoy life, So I want to kind of get my videos out there and show, hey, we need to have a work-life balance when you're an entrepreneur, realtor, agent, whatever you're doing, you're working from home, because things have changed. We're in a new we're in a new world now. It's almost like a baby being born. The roughest part of a fetus coming into the world is birth. And I think we have passed that roughest part, and now we're in a new chapter. So um, let's see if we can all kind of create a community in a sense, pass on some ideas of what we're all doing. Maybe we can create some kind of connections with one another, and we can maybe build a better future for yourself, ourselves, our family, our children. And, we can kind of just bounce ideas off of one another, what each other's doing, not hiding information with anyone. There's plenty of money to be made in the world, If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free. I'll answer them. All right. Have a good one.